We're back.
Hi, Daff.
Hi, Mom. Or should I call you Gail for like purposes of the podcast?
Yes, you should call me Gail.
Okay, Gail. Hello. How goes it?
It goes well. That's disturbing.
Because we're disturbed.
Yeah, we are.
And-ing.
With an ing.
Disturbed and ing.
Yeah.
Yes. That's us. How's your day? How's your week?
Ugh, don't ask.
Okay.
Just move on with our lives.
Okay, but I do want to say something really cool. I found this chick on TikTok a while ago in like February, and I added myself to her wait list because she makes memorial jewelry, and she's called Marlin Fine Jewelry, but her wait list isn't opened up again yet. But basically, I came off of her wait list like sometime in May, and I just got my ring back. I had a ring made for my cat Aspen. And it's here. And
from
it's
her
beautiful.
ashes.
Yeah, from her ashes. No.
I'm like,
but we're disturbing, so I might have cut a toe off. I'm just kidding. No, Aspen died in 2020, and I wanted to do something to memorialize her because I loved her so very much. And she was the biggest asshole, and I have scratches on my ankles and on my feet for the rest of my life from her. Bunch of scars from her running out from under my bed and just attacking the fuck out of me. So I view my ring as a sign of protection from her.
Nice.
And if anybody fucks with me, she'll fuck with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Love her.
Love her. Loved her.
And love the ring.
Awesome. I have something too, because remember how in the last episode I said 200 and I started saying 208 human bones in the body, bones in the human body.
Yeah.
It's 206. So I should not have second guessed myself, because whenever you second guess yourself, you're fucking wrong. Go with your first instinct. Go with your first instinct, people.
Yes.
Don't second guess yourself.
No, absolutely not. Especially when you're taking a test. That's like the worst time to do it.
Right. Or in life.
Yeah, anytime in life. Just don't. Just go with your gut.
Right.
Go with your intuition.
Exactly.
Your first instinct.
Yes.
Not your second one.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a tangent. Are you ready to hear my disturbing fact?
I am.
All right. So I have a list of disturbing facts about your favorite animal. Can you guess which one?
Dog?
No.
That's my favorite animal.
No, it isn't.
Polar bear?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one.
That's my favorite animal in the wild.
Okay.
But I always wanted one. But I feel like it might not be a great idea.
No, not after you hear what's going on here.
Because they're going to be extinct, and that's really sad.
So polar bears are the only animal on Earth that will actively hunt people. They'll stalk them out and then kill them.
More reason to love them.
I guess that's fair.
You could have your own personal hit polar bear.
Yeah, they like to stalk people and eat them. So, like, it's reported that people who live in areas of polar bears will not go anywhere without a gun. In fear of that.
Well, it's your own personal hit, polar bear.
Well, you know, like the saying, they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
Not true.
Not with a polar bear.
Nice. Awesome.
Especially not with a polar bear.
I like it.
And then, so polar bears are also the most terrifying animal in the open water.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have adapted to swim in the cold, and they're actually called the maritime bear. That's like their other name, the maritime bear. And they swim like doggy style, like paddling.
Dog paddle. Don't say doggy style. They just dog paddle.
They dog paddle doggy style. Jeez. Fuck. And they just are known as, a horrible animal, basically.
No, they're precious and cute.
They are so cute, but...
They are so cute.
Yeah, they're just fuckers, so basically. In the water and on the land. And their liver is toxic. It has enough vitamin A to kill 52 people.
Noted.
Yeah. Well, why would you want to kill it?
No, just you can have one lobe of the liver, and because there's 4, you still be fine with 3.
Yeah, but then you'd have to divide 52 by 4.
What?
You'd have to it only kill 25 people. You'd need the whole liver to kill all 52.
I don't know that many people, and 25 is not a quarter of 52.
Also, they're cannibals.
Okay. Kind of, ugh.
Yeah. So they're known to eat their young.
Huh. That doesn't seem like a super bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, wow. Wow.
Thanks. It's too late now.
Thanks a lot, Mom. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we know of other animals that eat their young, right? Like lions and chimpanzees. But
hamsters.
Yeah.
I had a hamster when I was a kid and it had babies and then it didn't.
Shit. I don't even know how to react to that because I feel like that would mentally fuck me up for life.
Yeah, it was. But I remember it.
But I don't like rodents, so it couldn't be me. I could never have a hamster. My little cousin's telling me about how she got one and how she wants to get more. And I was like, okay, well, don't expect a visit from me anytime before they die. Fuck that. Okay, so anyway, like I was saying, known to eat their young. So basically, because they're more solitary than anything, and that's related to hunger, like how our common black bears around here will hibernate, right? Mm-hmm. That's so they can store their fat and not have to find food throughout the winter. Mm-hmm. Well, polar bears are extremely solitary because of their hunger. That when they give birth, most of the time they eat the babies.
Aw, that's sad. That's another reason they'll be extinct.
Yeah, because they're killing their own young.
Yeah. Somebody needs to tell them not to do that.
And so when they're born blind and they only weigh about 20 ounces, which is about the size of a guinea pig.
That's tiny.
Yeah. And then they grow like extremely fast. The full-grown male is known to be about 1,400 pounds, and that's heavier than like a deadlift, like the world record of a deadlift.
Yeah, 1,400 pounds is a freaking lot of pounds.
Yeah.
1,400 of them, to be exact.
Right. Yeah, so that's just some disturbing facts about polar bears.
I still love them.
I still think that they're cute, but I don't know that I necessarily want to snuggle up with one now because if I turn my back, it's going to have like the knife out and go.
You might not even have to turn your back. You might just see it coming.
Right?
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah, but they're cute. I will give
adorable.
you that. I just thought I might ruin the rest of your week by telling you about polar bears in there.
Thanks.
Disturbing facts.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Cherry on top of it.
Yeah, it's been a week.
All right, Mom, what you got for me today?
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you what I have for you. I have the Stanley Hotel.
All right.
You just posted pictures of us at the Stanley Hotel on our Instagram.
I did.
And there, in one of those pictures, there's an orb, and like it was daytime.
Yeah.
So
we took that tour during the daytime.
Yeah.
Because I remember our tour guide asked us, so do you guys want like the history tour because it's the daytime or the ghost tour? And we were all like,
ghost tour.
Yeah.
Because it was like 4:30. So it was like right on the cusp.
Right.
And there were no children in our group that we know of.
Maybe there were children with our group.
Yeah.
Not anyone's we could see.
Nope. Well, that's not necessarily. Well, okay. I'm going to go on with this story.
Okay, do it.
It's a history lesson.
I'm excited. I love the Stanley.
Yeah.
I've stayed there a couple times. It's pretty sweet.
It is. It's a beautiful hotel.
It's
a beautiful environment. Like just around Estes Park. It's so beautiful up there. So anyway, here we go. Freeland Oscar Stanley was best known as the inventor of the steam-powered car, although he actually made his fortune manufacturing photographic plates. Photographic plates were the predecessor to photographic film, and it's a light-sensitive emulsion of silver salts that coated glass plates that were thinner than like windows.
Weird.
Yeah. So like,
that's
I feel like it's like those ones, you know how they're holding the little thing and they have like their face covered and then they take the picture and then there's like that poof of smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's that. I mean, it's not the poof of smoke, but I think it's like,
it always sounds like glass shattering whenever you see that in movies.
Yeah. And like you have to wait a minute because it's not like instant.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's how he actually made his money. And then he went on to co-found the Stanley Motor Carriage Company with his twin brother, Francis Edgar Stanley. And also there's the Stanley Steamer.
Stanley Steamer is your floor cleaner.
Yep, that's the one.
I wanted to say that when you were talking about the steam engine, but I was like, I knew what was coming about the Stanley Steamer, so I was like, I'm gonna wait.
But I don't even know if that was the Stanleys. I mean, obviously it's like tied to the name and it's steamer and they did the steam engine cars, but I didn't find anything that they were actually part of the Stanley Steamer thing.
Okay, weird.
So who knows? Maybe they were and I just couldn't find it, or maybe somebody's name jacking. Riding some coattails. I don't know. If you have any information about that, please let us know.
Right, in our comments on the Instagram.
There you go.
Or send us an email.
At our Gmail, that's disturbingpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, that would not be an appropriate time to put that in the case request form.
So in 1903, F.O. Stanley was diagnosed with tuberculosis. And at that time, the most recommended treatment was dry, fresh air and lots of sun and lots of food.
That's definitely going to happen in Estes.
Right.
At least the dry, fresh air.
And lots of sun. It's sunny up there. Colorado has a lot of sunny days.
It does.
Yeah. And then also a lot of food because, the whole feed a cold, starve a fever thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was part of the...
So he had to eat a lot.
Yeah.
He had to eat a lot of weight.
Yeah. Although he didn't look any chubby in any of the pictures that I've seen.
Doesn't look any chubby or chubby at all?
No chubby.
No chubs.
Gross. Take that back. Along with the doggy style.
I think I'm just on a theme tonight.
Clearly.
I'm just rolling with the punches.
Clearly. So he and his wife Flora headed to Denver from Maine. He came in March and then she joined him in June. And on the recommendation of his Dr. Sherman Grant Bonney, they moved to Estes Park and then they stayed there for the rest of the summer, and his health dramatically improved. And he returned over the next few summers because the winters up there are shit. Of course, if you're from Maine, they're probably not awesome either, but it gets a lot of freaking snow up there.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's no fun in the winter.
No.
They'll close down Rocky Mountain National Park. That park's only open seasonally, and that's not far from the Stanley.
No.
It's like a good, I would say 30, 40-minute drive outside of the Stanley.
It's not far. And they can get 13 to 20 feet of snow up there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. By 1907, he had completely recovered.
Okay.
So that's cool because, a lot of people didn't recover from tuberculosis.
Yeah, a lot of people died.
A lot of people died.
It was incurable at this time.
Well, clearly not. Clearly you just needed to go to Estes Park.
Right, and eat a lot of food.
Yeah. And eat it while you're out in the sun.
Yeah, right. It's the vitamin D and all the grub.
Yep, and the dry, fresh air.
Yeah, apparently so.
Right, it worked.
That's the magic combination. Fuck Robitussin.
Or antibiotics.
Yeah. Says who?
Says who? Says you. So since they came every year, he decided that he wanted a little more luxury than the rustic accommodations where they were currently staying. He was also looking for a little more excitement than the relaxed social scene of their summer home. So Stanley decided that he would turn Estes Park into a resort town. And holy shit, is that fucking a resort town. It is so freaking crowded now. Sometimes I don't like to go up there. I like to go in the off season because in the summer,
I like to go in the fall.
In the summer, you can't find a place to park and it's super freaking busy up there.
Yeah.
So success, F.O. Stanley.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. You ruined it for us natives.
In 1907, construction on the hotel began. It was to be a 48-room grand hotel that would cater to wealthy city socialites. Blech. It would cater to the wealthy city socialites in Freeland and Flora's social circle.
That's hard to say.
Back east, as well as others with tuberculosis, known as consumptives. Because remember how tuberculosis was called consumption? They called the people who had tuberculosis consumptives.
Huh.
Little just fun fact for you.
Nice.
Yes.
The consumptives. Because they have the consumption.
Yes. And the consumptives seeking the ideal treatment for tuberculosis, which clearly
it worked.
Yeah, clearly he was like the poster child for come to Estes Park and be cured.
Right. Well, I mean, if it worked for him.
Yeah.
I mean, not that any cure is a one size fits all, but this might be the one size that fits all.
Right. Well, a lot of people came here that had tuberculosis.
Minus all of the fucking pollution now.
Well, yeah, but now it's not a thing anymore. But I mean, people can still get tuberculosis, but it's not like you die from it anymore.
Right.
But, people came here. A lot of people came out west for tuberculosis, although a lot of them maybe came too late.
Yeah.
Because they didn't live. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. The land was purchased through representatives of the 4th Earl of Dunraven and Mount Earl, a.k.a. Lord Dunraven. Lord Dunraven. Dunraven had acquired the 1,500 acres in the Estes Valley by stretching, I'm air quoting, the provisions of the Homestead Act of 1862. So basically he was stealing the land from the settlers who were already on the land.
Nice guy.
Yeah. The Homestead Act of 1862 gave future citizens the right to claim up to 160 acres of public land, provided that they live on the land and improve it, and also pay a small registration fee. God, I'm struggling tonight.
That's okay.
The act was signed by President Lincoln on May 20th of 1862. So basically,
Lincoln was still around then?
1862.
Yeah, it was early, I guess. Not then. It was early.
Well, and I'm thinking, so he he wanted to abolish slavery and all of that. But then he's letting people just steal land.
Right. He's like,
it's quote unquote, it's yours land.
It's cool. It's yours now.
Right. You claim it.
Right. You said it was yours. It must be.
Right.
I want your left shoe. Now it's mine.
So as I said, you could claim up to 160 acres. And Lord Dunraven claimed 15,000. So just a little bit more than...
A little excessive.
Yeah. He just took a skosh more than his share.
Right. A skosh or a lot. Or a lot of times that I don't have the math to break down right now.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Several times 160. I'll give you that.
Yes. No shit.
Lord Dunraven had planned on making the land into a private hunting preserve. The acquisition of the land also made him one of the largest foreign holders of American land. He was from Ireland, so I think that the land being beautiful and hilly and green was like his draw to the land.
Yeah, I could understand that.
Yeah.
Being from Ireland, yeah.
Well, and that's how he was also able to claim the land because he wasn't from the United States. And so he was going to live on it and...
He was going to live on all,
15,000 acres.
Yeah, 15,000 acres.
Yes, he was going to live on it.
He's like, I'm going to build the biggest house there ever was.
He was going to live on the land and improve it and pay a small registration fee.
Nice. Must have been cool.
Right? Wouldn't you like to buy 15,000 acres for a small registration fee?
Yeah, I would have loved that.
Yeah, you can't even get 1,500 square feet for a small registration fee anymore.
No, you cannot. But you know what I was just thinking about him?
Nope.
So you're so going to roll your eyes when I say this. But on the Kardashians,
God,
Scott Disick went to England, right? And they basically blessed him to become a lord. Like he went through this ceremony or whatever to become a lord. So I wonder if this guy was actually a lord, a property owner in Ireland. Or if he just had the ceremony done and was like Scott Disick and was like, I'm just going to go by this name now. I am a lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't do a whole lot of research on him. I did try to find some things out, but that's for later. But
we'll see. I was just wondering that because it sounds like he'd be the kind of person to be like,
oh, I'm a lord.
Yeah, just I'm a lord, nobody's going to fact check him.
Right.
And nobody's going to be like, oh, I wonder if this guy's story is valid. Is he really a lord?
In my Cracker Jack box, I got a thing that says, you are now a lord.
Right. My popsicle stick told me I was.
Inside your Snapple lid.
Yeah. You are now a lord.
Yes. Not that they had Snapple lids, but.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or popsicle sticks.
Or
Cracker Jacks.
I bet I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. These are things that we need to look up.
Yeah, well, we don't know these things because we're just talking about them right now.
And we were born in 1862.
However,
alive.
Yeah, that's also fair. Long time after. No, I just feel like he's that kind of guy to be pretentious and be like, I'm a lord.
Probably.
Yeah. Am I wrong?
Probably, given the fact that he stole 15,000 acres
Probably
of land.
wrong or probably not wrong.
You're probably not wrong.
Okay, sorry, we can move on now.
Okay.
I just really wanted to make my point heard.
Clearly. I forgot where I was at. Okay, so he was from Ireland. This is where I was at. He thought that the land being, I think that he thought.
I think that he thought that it being green and hilly must have been really attractive to him.
Yeah, that's my own conclusion.
I don't know, we can't ask him.
Nope. Well, actually, you probably can. The local farmers and ranchers just didn't like him at all because apparently he's a douche. So he probably was one of those guys that was like, oh, I'm a lord.
Right?
And so he left the area in 1884 and he left the ranch to be cared for by an overseer.
Okay, so
That's a lot of fucking land to oversee.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, like, that's kind of rude of you. And I know he's not overseeing all of this land, and he's probably paying them like fucking 3 cents a day.
Yeah.
If that.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe he just let them live on the land and that was his gift.
But then I feel like this person needed to claim squatters' rights on his ass.
Well, it didn't work because, we know what happened to the land.
Right.
So Stanley was planning on naming the hotel the Dunraven, but because people didn't like him, 180 citizens of Estes Park signed a buckskin petition requesting that he name the hotel for himself.
A buckskin?
Yeah. So,
care to elaborate?
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a buckskin. It's the skin of a buck.
Like a deer?
Yes, a male deer, not a doe.
A buck?
A buck.
And okay. Anyway.
Yeah, buckskin.
Like leather, yeah.
Deer leather. Deer buckskin.
Leather.
Yeah.
So if skin is leather.
That's true. Ugh. I just had an icky thought.
Yeah.
I went Wild Bill on us.
Right. Yeah, no. Let's not do that.
Or Ed Gein.
Yeah. Puts the lotion on the skin.
Gets the hose again. The main hotel was finished in 1909. And the concert hall and the manor were finished in 1910. The manor is a building that is 2/3 scaled down version of the main hotel. So it looks exactly the same, but it's just 2/3 the size. When it was all said and done, the hotel ended up having 11 buildings in total, including the main hotel, the concert hall, a carriage house, a manager's cottage, gatehouse, and the manor. And obviously, like some
manager gets their whole cottage to themselves.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to stay there and manage the thing, you ought to be able to have some privacy at some point in time and not have to live in the hotel with all the guests that you're dealing with all day because, customer service.
Right. It's exhausting.
Yeah, exactly. You need a little private cottage for refuge.
Yeah.
At this time, the Stanley was one of the few buildings in the world to be powered entirely by electricity. But that being said,
neat.
That is neat.
That's a cool fact.
It is a cool fact. That being said, at this time and the location of it being up in the mountains in Estes Park, there was a lack of available power.
Right.
So, great, has electricity, but
not so great if you can't actually power it.
Right. They could use some of it. Like there was enough to do some, but Did
it have indoor plumbing?
It had indour plumbing.
Okay. I didn't know if that was a later feature.
No, it had indoor plumbing because it's 1910.
Well, I don't know.
Yes.
Poor James Rupert didn't have indoor plumbing.
Well, that's different. I'm not going to get into that. Without there being enough power to power the hotel at all times, they put an auxiliary gas lighting system, which was lighting, like for the lights.
Okay.
Because I'm saying gas lighting. They're not gaslighting.
They're not gaslighting anyone.
They're lighting their lights
with gas.
Yeah. So
they're powering their lights with gas.
Yes.
Turning them on.
Yes. This system was installed in June of 1911. The day after the pipes had been filled with gas, an explosion occurred that injured a maid.
What?
Weird, right? that injured a maid and damaged the structure. But do you like that? How it was like the fucking next day?
Well, it makes sense.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I feel like I don't know how far along their piping was back then for their gas lines like it is today. And even still today, we see a boom, boom.
Boom, boom. Yeah. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen the next day.
Yeah, that's...
Oops, there was a leak.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. So anyway, that leads us into the backstory of one of our hauntings at the hotel.
Sweet.
As I said, the pipes had just been filled, and a maid named Elizabeth Wilson entered room 217, which was the presidential suite. She had a candle.
Oh, fuck.
Yes, and there was a leak in one of the recently filled pipes, and the flame from the candle caused an explosion.
Oh, it was her.
Wilson was thrown or pushed through the floor into the McGregor dining room, which was just below. She did survive, but she had 2 broken ankles and a few other minor injuries. So I guess she really got lucky. Probably some singed eyebrows, I'm guessing.
Yeah, lashes.
Yeah. Arm hair.
Yeah.
But she probably had those long sleeves because it was the early 1900s. Anyway,
right.
She loved her job so much that after her 2-month recovery, she returned to work there. And she worked there until she retired in her 50s. And it was said that she passed away in 1950 from an unknown illness. After her death, it is believed that her spirit returned to the place that she loved so dearly.
In the 1950s, and this was in 1911, so she only started working there when she was 10 when this happened. And for the next 40
Maybe
years.
it was a late, I don't know, she retired in her 50s.
Did you say in the 1950s?
She was in her 50s and she passed away in 1950.
Oh, but you don't know how old she was when she passed away.
I don't know how old she was.
Okay, because I was under
she retired in her 50s. I don't know
I
don't know when she retired or when she was born. All I know is that she worked there. She got blown through the floor. She broke her ankles. She had some scuffs. She wanted to go back because she really liked it, even though she had the I wouldn't go back.
I wouldn't go back either. That'd be like a pretty daunting.
Right. And I feel like I'd want workman's comp, which probably wasn't a thing back then.
Right. Absolutely. I'm sure it wasn't. However, I thought I heard you say that she retired and died in 1950.
No, she retired in the 50s and then she passed away in 1950. So again, don't know when she was born or when she...
I was like, damn, she started working there as a 10-year-old.
Well, could be.
For the rest of her life. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like there probably wasn't very many child labor laws back then.
Probably
her
none.
Parents didn't have a farm, so they're like, you need to go get a job at the Stanley.
So, it's said that her spirit returned to the place that she loved so dearly. People who have stayed in room 217 say that they have experienced some paranormal activity, such as hearing what sounds like someone crying, items being moved, and clothes being folded and put away, shoes lined up, and even shadows that seem to pass through the walls. Some people have said that they felt a warm, comforting feeling in the room. Other people have reported that their clothing was moved from the closets and drawers and packed in their bags.
Oh, shit.
So I'm thinking those are people that she's like, meh, not so much.
Yeah, she doesn't like them.
Time for you to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be so freaking creepy.
That'd be so weird. That would be really weird.
Even just to have your shoes lined up.
Yeah.
Because we would know it wasn't you that fucking did it.
Thanks, Mom. I'm not like, hey, let's get clean here for a minute.
You're not.
Nope. Couldn't be me.
You need Elizabeth Wilson.
I need her. I wonder how I get her here.
It is also believed that room 217 was the inspiration for Stephen King's classic novel, The Shining. King stayed in room 217 with his wife in June of 1974, and he was unaware that the room was haunted. During their stay, the couple experienced several incidents, including lights flickering, knocks on the door with no one being on the other side when they answered it, the voices of children echoing or bouncing off the walls and ceilings. 3 years later, 1977, King published The Shining.
The Shining was born.
The Shining was born.
Also, a story we learned about Miss Wilson at the hotel when we took our ghost tour, which I've done the tour twice, so I've heard this story a couple times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was that she doesn't like unwed people, perhaps the doggy style people happen to stay in room 217, and she'll fuck with them.
So those are the people that she packs up their shit.
Probably, but she doesn't like unwed people knocking about in the hotel. And in her room specifically. Wonder why 217? Probably because it was a traumatic room.
Yeah, because that's where she went through the floor.
Yeah.
So it drew her back. Even though she loved the whole hotel, she could have just went anywhere. But apparently that was her room. The presidential suite.
Right.
I mean, she didn't stay there or live there because it was the presidential suite.
Is it still the presidential suite today?
I don't know if it is or not. It just said that it was the presidential suite. So I don't know that they have a presidential suite anymore.
Okay.
I think they definitely have rooms that are better than other rooms because we've stayed there and there are like choices of rooms.
Yeah.
So we definitely didn't stay in any kind of a presidential suite.
No, we did not.
But our room was super nice.
For $500 a night, we definitely opted to not do that.
Well, shoot, it was probably way more than that. But
no, I'm talking about for our standard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's a beautiful hotel and like the environment's gorgeous and the staff is great. And I can't say enough good things about the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, we love the Stanley.
Yes, we do.
Sometimes even just to go pop over and eat lunch.
Yeah, or go to that little cafe and get some coffee and a sweets.
Oh, yeah, the red rum latte.
The red rum latte.
So good.
Delicious.
Yum.
Yum. Red rum, yum.
Red rum, yum.
In room 428, there's said to be the ghost of a cowboy who is active in the dead of night. He just sits in the corner, or he paces the floor, or it's also said that he kind of looms over the bed. Women staying in the room have reported being awakened to being kissed on their foreheads goodnight. No one seems to know the guy's backstory, but he definitely seems harmless and not menacing. There are also no rooms above this room, yet people have reported sounds like furniture being moved and footsteps that are coming like from the ceiling.
Oh, weird.
Weird.
That's odd.
And I've heard of the cowboy room before, obviously, because we stayed there. And I think that some people have made it out to be like really scary, but everything that I read says it's not.
Because I'm going to piggyback on what you're saying right now. And one of the first episodes I ever watched of the show Ghost Adventures was about the Stanley. They were staying in the Stanley, right? And Aaron stayed in that room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, this is where the moment I was like, oh my gosh, to this show. Because he comes out of the room and he's like, dude, bro. Like, yeah, what's up with the cowboy, man? He is a dude, bro. But yeah, what's up with him?
And that was it?
That was it. Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he had some experience in there.
Right, but nothing scary.
I don't think he was kissed on the head.
Well, he's not a woman.
Sorry, moving along.
No, that's okay. In room 418, there are ghosts of children who like to play with guests' belongings. People have seen lights flicker and hangers move. Some people have had their covers ripped off of them in the middle of the night. Ugh. One 4-year-old little girl who stayed in the room told her mother that a young boy had tickled her in the middle of the night, but when she asked him to stop, he did.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I don't like that, but at least he's respectful.
Yeah.
He was asked to stop and he did.
He did. In room 401 is where people think that Lord Dunraven hangs out. He never visited the hotel and was long gone before it was even built, but maybe he just got attached to the land. So he decided in the afterlife to take up residence in a nice cozy room.
Yeah.
He is one of the male ghosts who will wrap his arms around women or play with their hair. He doesn't seem to be a fan of living with male competition, or of the living male of his living male competition. Sorry.
Ooh.
He gives men an uneasy, unwelcoming feeling and has been accused of stealing valuables from men. Oh, it's a theme, right? I stole land.
Yeah, he's stealing shit from living guys now.
Yeah. Well, he was stealing shit from living guys then, too.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
People have also said that they've seen him standing in the corner of the room watching guests while they are in the room.
Ugh.
People also report having seen a ghostly face looking out the window when the room is empty, unoccupied.
Creepy.
We saw a face.
We did see a face.
But I don't know what room it was. I can't tell you.
I couldn't tell you at all.
But I don't think it was the 4th floor. I feel like it was probably the second or third.
I know which room on the outside, though, is 217.
Well, this is 401.
No, I'm talking about Miss Wilson's room, though.
Okay.
Elizabeth Wilson's room.
Gotcha. Well, because it was a presidential suite, so it's probably got like major windows and stuff.
It has a big balcony, I believe.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's really nice.
I bet it is.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm going to be 25 soon.
I'm like, we'll never know. In In room 407, several ghosts have reported being tucked into bed or felt someone sit on the end of the bed. And when they flip on the light, no one is there, but there's an indentation in the covers.
Ugh, that one. I don't like that.
I feel like that's fine because you're getting tucked in and then somebody's just kind of sitting there watching over you.
I don't know. I actually really don't like that.
Yeah, I don't know because
I mean, getting tucked in, cool, fine, whatever.
That's still not cool.
It's more comforting than seeing an indentation on the bed.
Well, and it's like when we stayed there and you wanted to go.
Are you getting into this?
Well, because I feel like this fits here. But, and we've told this story before, but we were staying at the Stanley and we were going to get up and ghost hunting in the middle of the night.
I set my alarm for 2:50 a.m.
Yeah.
So we'd be up at the witching hour.
Yeah, and we were going to go and I couldn't move.
Yeah, she had sleep paralysis.
But I wasn't asleep. There was somebody in the chair.
Sleep paralysis is the same thing where you're your mind is awake, but you can't move.
Well, it's because someone was sitting in the chair next to the bed and I couldn't see anybody, but I could feel it. That feeling of somebody's right there watching you.
So I definitely felt like I was being watched all night. However, I didn't get sleep paralysis and I was so mad at you. I was really, you're killing my experience because I'm not going alone. I'm going to need you to go with me, but I ain't going alone. And then the piano started playing.
I was going to say, and then what happened?
And then the piano started playing downstairs, the original owner's piano, and they have it corded off, right? So nobody can fuck with that piano. And it started playing, and that was really weird. And I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to, catch some Z's. and then the icing on the fucking cake the next morning, I asked them about the piano playing at the front desk when we went to go turn back in our key.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, it does that a couple nights a week. She'll just go play it. Yeah.
Yeah, in that room, though, I felt like I was being watched the whole time.
We were on the second floor.
But it just, I don't know. But it wasn't an uneasy feeling. I didn't feel scared. I just felt kind of creeped out.
Yeah, being watched is definitely a weird feeling.
Yeah. Well, and people watch you when live living people.
Yeah, and it's uneasy.
Yeah.
I'm doing right now.
Creepy. The fourth floor of the hotel, before it had rooms, was where the women and children and nannies lived. Oftentimes, people hear what sounds like children laughing and playing on the fourth floor.
Okay.
The concert hall is also a very active area. Many people have reported hearing ghosts and being touched when no one has touched them. An employee named Paul used to enforce the 11 p.m. curfew at the hotel. And sadly, Paul died of a heart attack while he was on the job. Visitors have reported that they believe that they've heard Paul telling them to, quote, get out, and being physically pushed out the door into the hallway, which I hope he didn't do that, to guess when he was, I feel like they would not get a good Yelp review.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't get a good Yelp review.
Yeah.
That's really sad, though, about Paul having a heart attack and dying.
It is sad.
That's really sad.
It is sad. And people leave alcohol and cigarettes for him.
Dude, what happens to them?
They just try to get the cigarette to move or to see if the alcohol moves or whatever. But maybe these are hints as to why Paul had a heart attack.
Okay, so I was thinking how people leave flowers on graves.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking people left alcohol and cigarettes there for him.
Yeah, they do.
But what happens to those things? Do they ever vanish? Or do
I don't think they
them?
vanish. I feel like the staff probably cleans them up because people just leave and leave and leave and leave. But people ask him to move the cigarette. Paul, can you move the cigarette? Paul, can you move the bottle? So, weird. Because he has a room.
Yeah.
He has a room in the concert hall.
Creepy.
Very creepy.
We've been in there before.
Flora Stanley, in her earthly life, was quite the pianist.
Sorry if I stole that from you.
It's okay. Well, because I brought up the other stuff, and that's fine, because I was literally
It was all interconnected.
Well, and I was literally going to say to you, and then what happened after I wouldn't get out of bed? And it's not that I wouldn't, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't. I couldn't move. No, I couldn't. It was the weirdest thing ever.
It's not that I wouldn't, it's that I couldn't.
Well, whatevs.
AKA, no, Daphne, go back to bed.
Oh, and I don't even think I slept after that because I was just freaked out. I mean, I know I slept a little bit, but I think it was more towards daylight.
I got a great night's sleep.
That bed was really fucking nice.
It was really great.
And also we had some drinks.
Yeah.
But
we definitely did do that too.
But that wasn't why we heard the piano or felt like people were watching us.
No.
We didn't have that many drinks.
No,
Just
absolutely
a
not.
relaxing evening. Neither one of us are big drinkers.
If we would have had that many drinks, we might have seen some other shit.
And we probably would have got up.
Yeah.
Because we're not that big of drinkers.
Big of a. We could have been beating on our chests and been like, "Come fuck with us, ghosts."
I would never invite that in.
No, me either.
No.
I take it back.
Right. So it's a common belief that she is still there in a less earthly form, playing her piano as she often did for her guests. So if you hear the piano playing and no one is there, you can thank Flora Stanley for entertaining you. She can also be seen sometimes at the top of the grand staircase and walking around the halls. I found a picture online that someone posted of what could very well be Flora on the landing and the staircase.
Oh,
yeah.
Weird.
So we'll have to find that and post it. I found it on the internet and it's someone's Instagram. So obviously, yeah, we can use it.
Not obviously we can use it. We're going to have to credit them.
Well, yeah. But I mean, if it's on the interweb and they posted it on their Instagram,
yeah,
then it's available for public consumption.
Correct. Not the tuberculosis.
I'm like, well, not that kind of consumption. And there's another ghost, probably maybe one of the most famous ghosts at the Stanley Hotel, who also lives in the concert hall. And her name is, quote, Lucy. She was named by the staff at the Stanley. She's the ghost of a young woman who was a runaway or homeless. The hotel used to shut down over the winter months from the time it was built until 1983. When it started staying open year-round. Somehow, Lucy managed to get into the hotel, probably seeking refuge from the winter weather. In the spring, when the hotel workers were preparing to reopen for the season, they found a young woman or older teen who had died in the concert hall, probably from hypothermia, as the hotel was not heated when it was shut down. The staff turned the water off, the heat off, everything before they locked the doors at the end of the season. So Lucy is one of the most interactive ghosts in the hotel. She likes dum-dums, and in several videos on TikTok, do you like that?
On
the TikTok reference for Daphne, she can be seen making them twirl and dance in people's hands. She can also close doors, make lights flicker, as well as flashlights flicker. And you had a dum-dum experience.
I had a big old dum-dum experience.
Yeah,
so I was on my second tour I've ever done there. Well, I think we've done other ones when I was a kid, but my second one of my adult life. Yes, I was on my second tour there. I was in the basement of the concert hall with my friend, and the guy's going around and passing out the suckers, right? And he's like, "Oh, like her flavor of the day is this one, right? Cool. Awesome." Everybody's taking that because it's the flavor of the day. Right. It's her favorite. So I was like, for myself for later, I like butterscotch. I'm going to get butterscotch. Well, no, that's her all-time favorite. That is her favorite in this world. So they have you put the lollipop dum-dum side down in the palm of your hand, stick up, and left is no. Like if it moves to the left, that's no. And if it moves to the right, that's yes. And so I'm holding the palm of my hand out with this dum-dum in my hand, asking questions, and it's moving like crazy. And she's responding to everything I have to say, right? And, I made sure it was her. I checked in. I was like, is Lucy there? Yes. Okay. And then it's levitating and dancing in my hand. It's the weirdest shit I've ever experienced. It definitely made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up.
No kidding.
However, I didn't feel alarmed or freaked out. It was felt like a hug. Honestly, she felt like a warm hug. She was not there to fuck with me. It was comforting, actually.
It was playful.
It was playful. It was good. It was fun. It was nice.
Playful,
she was
harmless, safe.
Yeah, charming.
Yeah.
But then later on in the evening, I kept the lollipop and I brought it back to my room. And I was fucking with it. And I asked, is Lucy there? And I got a big fat no. And my friend started bitching at me. And she's like, you need to put that shit away. And then she took it from me and she threw it away. Good friend.
Probably a good idea.
And then the next morning in the parking lot, we saged ourselves.
Yeah.
We weren't going to do it in the hotel because that's just rude.
Yeah.
Because it's a haunted attraction.
Yeah. But you want to definitely not take anything with you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not taking shit home with us.
There's a picture of what some people think is Lucy, but it's a little girl in a pink dress. So I feel like it's probably not Lucy, that it's like another little girl, because obviously there are tons of children ghosts there.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that children died there, but like how ghosts go back again to the happiest place, happiest time.
Which is so weird to me, because if you're stuck in ghost form, isn't that so you can like rehash out your business you didn't in real life? So why would you go back to the happiest state of your life?
I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm not a ghost.
I understand, unless you are.
I'm not.
I just think that's weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. And I don't know if it's true that you are a ghost to hash things out, or if like you're just not ready to leave and you're like,
You're just stuck.
I want to do this again. Not even necessarily stuck, but like, I want to go back and do this.
I don't know why
again.
you'd want to redo it.
I don't know why you'd want to redo all of it, but there might be a handful of things that you'd want to redo.
But wouldn't that be like correcting your old mistakes, not going back to your happiest moments?
I don't know. You just literally said that. And I said, I don't know.
Okay, I'm just reiterating my philosophy talk.
Clearly. And we're not philosophers.
Fuck no.
So to this day, Lucy's true identity is still unknown. And I tried to see like where she was buried and stuff, and I couldn't find anything, which is a bummer, because you know that whoever found her and whatever happened, like they had to have buried her somewhere.
They had to have logged it.
And it was like when it was like in the 60s or 70s.
They had to have mentally logged it anyway.
And it was in the 60s or 70s,
whether it was
right?
recorded or not. I don't know.
It
I don't know
wasn't
the exact
like
time
in the
frame.
early 1900s.
No. But it could have been as early as like the 50s.
Yeah, but it
could have been because she returned there for years. She went back there. Like it said that she would, I don't know if she was a runaway, a homeless, like you said, but they said that she would go there for like multiple winters at a time. And then one winter she was locked out. They ended up closing it off to the homeless people. And that's when she got hypothermia. That's the story I heard at the hotel.
Yeah. And I read
still
different versions online.
She's there. She died there.
Yeah. And she stayed there.
Yeah.
It makes me sad.
Which is, it's her happy place.
Makes me sad. And I wish even if we didn't know her true identity, I wish we knew where she was buried. Because I don't know why I feel like I would want to go visit her grave.
And bring her a butterscotch dum-dum.
There you go. But you can just bring it to the Stanley. So that's also a thing you could do.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, like I said, she felt like a warm hug from a friend.
Well, and
like
when
it was comforting.
And when we did ours, it was supposed to be a daytime one. And so they didn't have the dum-dums and stuff with them. Or it was a daytime one. But it was like 4:30. So it was like on the cusp.
Yeah.
So the guy did do the scary version. Or not the scary version.
Right, but we didn't get the dum-dums.
But we didn't have the dum-dums. Nope.
Yeah. Depressing.
Yeah. But you did. You got that.
But
experience.
the guy told me that he also thought that she really liked me.
Aw. That's
I
cute.
know. I was like, aw.
That is sweet.
Not that our lives are relatable to my knowledge, but I definitely can empathize with a lot of things and a lot of people.
You do have that skill.
I do. It's a blessing and a curse.
Unfortunately for you.
It's a blessing and a curse to be an empath.
Yeah.
However, I will say that I think it's gotten me further in life than it has like pushed me backwards.
I agree.
Than it has like halted me in my growth.
Because you're really like caring and empathetic and sympathetic and like, I don't know. We'll just move on. Even though you seem like a dick on this podcast, you're not.
Even though I seem like a total and utter asshole, it's just because I don't want anyone to talk to me. But when I actually care, I care deeply.
Exactly. That's exactly
it. Yeah.
There are also reports of some flirty male ghosts who can be a little too much. They kiss women's cheeks. They run their hands along your body, stroke your hair.
Okay, I don't like that.
And of course, give you that uneasy feeling you get when you're being watched. And so my experience with that was we went on it wasn't like a ghost tour, but it was like a scary story night because it was around Halloween. And we went up there and we just went for like dinner and drinks and we were with some friends. And so we sat in this room, like it was like a hall. So it was like a big room and they had like chairs lined up and stuff. So that you could listen to the stories that
I have very vague memories of this.
Yeah, you were little. Not little.
I was like 10 or 11.
Yeah, you weren't grown up.
I was not a grown up.
So we were sitting in the last row and I was like in the last row on the end seat and there weren't a ton of people in there. There was like maybe 25, 30 people max. There were not a lot of people in there. And when the guy was telling the stories that he was telling, all of a sudden I felt like someone blew on the back of my neck and like right under my ear and like across the back of my neck. And oh my God, I totally just like turned. And of course, there's no one there. And I mean, it was like, it was warm and it was so weird. And, you know, I'm sitting there with my group of people and I'm like, just really quick, like turn my head so quick. And they're all like, what? And I'm like, somebody just blew on the back of my neck.
Right. Somebody just violated me.
Yeah, it was really...
And then your jacket moved.
Yes, my jacket moved. It got just like pushed to the side because it was hanging.
It got pulled behind you.
Well, it was hanging on the chair and it got like pushed, like bunched, and then it went behind me.
Yeah.
So it was like somebody,
not like your
somebody
chair
was going to scoop it up.
Yeah, not like your chair. It just fell off the back of your chair. Like it was purposely moved.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a gravity issue.
No.
That was like, because it was like dragged a good, like, I would say, foot behind where you were sitting.
Yeah.
Like you definitely didn't just go, oh, there's my jacket. It was like, there's my jacket.
Well, maybe they were trying to lure me off.
Ugh.
They wanted some ghostly action.
They wanted some Gale action. Gale and the ghost.
Gale and the ghost.
The oh so friendly ghost.
Too friendly. Too much. No thanks. Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
Freeland Stanley's ghost can also be seen hanging out in the billiards room or in the garage. He's just like there, sometimes sitting at the bar or looking to tinker with a car because that was like his passion. So he's like probably the least active of the ghosts that are there.
Well, he's probably made a lot of peace with his decisions he's made in life.
Well, or he just is like good just chilling and hanging back because clearly in the living world, he was real fucking busy.
Right. He's like, yeah, I'm good here. We're just relaxing.
Yes, I finally get my time to relax.
Yeah.
There's also a pet cemetery located on the grounds where the Stanleys and other staff members have buried their beloved pets.
Also a Stephen King inspo?
Well, I was getting there. The pet cemetery is located on the grounds where the Stanleys and other staff members buried their beloved pets who passed away. Cassie, a golden retriever, still likes to deliver newspapers and will sometimes scratch on exterior doors wanting to be let in. And don't forget Comanche, the fluffy white cat, whose spirit also hangs out on the property.
Weird. Where is it?
I don't know. I don't recall seeing it.
I don't think I've ever seen it. That's why I asked.
Well, next time we need to drive up there and just go find the pet cemetery and have a red brown latte.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's do it. Some people think in addition to The Shining, Stephen King may have also been inspired to write Pet Sematary after his visit to the Stanley Hotel.
So it came after The Shining.
Yeah, it was later. I don't know what year, but I feel like it was in the 80s.
I've actually never seen The Shining.
Well, it's a book first.
No, I know, but the movie, I've never seen the movie.
You've never Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
Have you seen Pet Sematary?
Yes, that was weird.
Yeah.
I've seen like the first 10 minutes of The Shining like several times after every time I watch the first 10 minutes of it. I'm like, yeah, I know the real story.
Well, there is no real story because
it's just inspired. Yeah. No, I know. And it wasn't even filmed there.
It was not filmed there. It was filmed in Oregon. Right?
Yeah.
Oregon or Washington.
Not in Estes Park,
Not
Colorado.
in Estes Park. Nope. There are also underground caves. The caves under the Stanley have high concentrations of limestone and quartz, which are said to be high in energy-holding elements for the paranormal, which totally believe that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The caves were used by the staff, and that's where we got
the orb.
Our orb.
Which, I didn't even realize we had caught that until like 2-3 days later. Because they say just to take a lot of pictures, flash on, flash off, however you want to do it, your own discretion, just basically take a butt ton of pictures.
Yeah.
And I did that. And then we were going through them later that night. Like I didn't see shit. And then the next couple days looking again, I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
I do. And it's like perfect.
Yeah. It was there.
It was 100%. Well, you posted it on the Instagram so people can look. And we're not like the kind of people that can manipulate pictures.
Nah, I'm not very good at that.
And it was on your...
my iPhone?
Yes. I'm using my hand.
She's using her thumb, like trying to press a button.
It was on your cellular device.
Cellular device. Yeah, it was on my phone. Also, what if that was the one who went to bed with you? The one who sat next to the bed in the chair.
That's creepy. Don't say that.
If that was that orb.
I'm going to have the ooks tonight.
The ooks?
Yeah, I don't know what that word was. I've never said that before.
I'm going to have the ooks.
Yeah, that was a cool way of saying spooks. The spookiness.
Is that like the ooks?
I got the ooks. So you might ask why there are caves underneath the Stanley Hotel. The caves were used by the staff in the early days of the hotel because back then it was not appropriate for the staff to be seen by the guests. So apparently there's just fucking little elves running around doing everything that you don't see.
Right, they're doing behind the secenes work, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but if they're in the caves, then like, how are they changing your sheets and stuff?
It's a mystery.
Right.
The caves were used to travel between rooms, the bar, the restaurant, and the laundry room. And there's said to be a ghost of a pastry chef who haunts the caves. The smell of baked goods can be sometimes wafting through the air. You might also see a gray cat.
He can visit our room next time.
Right. But it's only in the caves. He's just down there.
Not if he can go to rooms through the caves.
Yeah, but he can't cook in the rooms. He wasn't baking in the rooms.
Probably wasn't baking in the cave either.
Probably not, but maybe he just smelled like pastries when he walked around.
Okay, well, all I said was he could visit us next time we're there.
And we want some pastries.
Right.
You might also see a gray cat with glowing eyes that you can only catch a glimpse of before he disappears. He isn't one of the reported pets to have been buried in the pet cemetery. He must have just lived in the caves and he's still there looking for some human contact.
Aw.
Yeah, so he's probably like a stray cat or something that they fed and just took care of.
That's really sad.
And well, that's life.
Yeah.
And more than one person has captured little girls in their photos that are not on the tours in the hotel. And they're not people say that they're not on their tour, not in their group. They take these pictures. And when they get home and look at the pictures, then there are these images in the pictures.
Are those supposed to be like the twins that are in The Shining?
Well, one said that there was twin girls, but then when I tried to find anything about twin girls, I could never find anything again. It just kept redirecting me to The Shining. And it's no. And then I looked, I just kept looking and looking. And then that's when pictures started popping up of images of girls in pictures and you can see through them. And then one is just a blur. There's clearly the figure of a little girl. And then a couple feet away, there's a blur of what would probably be another child.
Weird.
And then that's also when I was finding those, that's when I found the picture of Flora Stanley. So,
creepy.
Yeah. It was we'll find them and we'll put them up.
Super off-putting.
Super off-putting. So anyway, that's it.
But not the pastry chef, of course. That's not off-putting at all.
Or Cassie, the golden retriever, Comanche.
Aw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Flora.
Or Flora.
I liked listening to the piano.
Oh, yeah. No.
That was just a joke.
I like the piano. I like listening to it, but not when you don't see somebody playing it.
I wouldn't argue if Miss Wilson decided to come fold my laundry. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be mad.
So anyway, that's my story of the Stanley
Hotel.
Hotel.
I love the Stanley.
Me too.
I love it. Honestly, it's it's my eighth wonder of the world.
It's a slice of home.
I love it up there so much.
It is really beautiful, but it's too crowded.
I don't disagree.
I mean, not the Stanley itself. I mean, it can be, but Estes Park, there's even a freaking parking garage there now. And that wasn't a thing.
That was never a thing, no.
No, I think it's 2 years old.
The parking garage in Estes, yeah.
So
right by the main street, the main town.
Yeah. So if you ever get a chance to come to Colorado, definitely recommend staying at the Stanley. It's
or
beautiful.
Even if you're not going to stay there, do a tour, do something there.
Go for lunch, go to the bar. Oh my God, they have really good food at the restaurant.
Yeah, the Cascades restaurant, I think is what it's called. It's the one that if you go into the front desk and then you go to the left, it's that restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
They have really, really, really great food. When we went up there, we ate there twice. We ate for lunch and then we ate dinner there. And then I don't remember. We went to the Egg and I or something like that for breakfast.
Which is not in the Stanley.
No, it's not in the Stanley. But
and
we did get our red rum lattes.
We did. And we sat outside by the fire pits and just enjoyed the evening. But it was December.
It was October.
October?
It was October.
Okay.
Yeah, we were still in t-shirts.
Yeah.
Not at night.
No.
But We were in t-shirts before night.
Oh, that's right. Because I thought we went for your birthday, but we decided to go in October because of the weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was in 2020. So if we would have gone in December, the world would have been shut down all over again.
Yeah.
And both my parents would have had COVID on my birthday. And it would have been so sad because then I wouldn't have been able to go stay at the Stanley.
So
true story. My birthday in 2020, I had to be on lockdown and wearing a mask in my own house because my dad didn't want to wear a mask and he had COVID. Just saying. I tested positive for it.
Yeah.
And so did you.
Yep.
And I tested negative.
Yeah, you were outnumbered. Sorry.
Yeah. And it was my own birthday.
It did suck.
And I didn't even catch it until like fucking May of 2022. Tough shit.
Sorry. 10 out of 10 recommend going to the Stanley. If you're in Colorado, do it.
Yes, do it. All right. And while you're at it, if you want to see the pictures of us there, go hit it on our Instagram. It's at That's Disturbing Podcast on our Instagram. And the pictures of us are on there at the Stanley and the picture of the orb and all that we took. And so when we post this episode, we'll post another picture of us that I didn't post. I just wanted to do like our silly, goofy, cute selves outside of the Stanley and like some of our fun pictures there. But anyway, that's why I made the decision to post those because I was like, we have 100 followers now. I'll post a picture of us.
Killing it. We're killing it.
And you can send us a case request form. You can do that on our website, that's disturbingpodcast.com, or you can do that to our email, that's disturbingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM it to us on Instagram. I'm tired of begging you guys to send it through the website. So whatever floats your fancy.
Yep.
Although I do appreciate it. However, whatever.
Whatever. Some sort of effort.
I think that's all the social channels. And that's really only one social.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Thank you. And we'll try to.
No, thank you.
I'll find those pictures that I found and we'll get those up too.
Sick.
And some pictures of just the Stanley and.
Yeah. It was a weird time there, but it was a great time. Well, thank you, Mom. I loved it. Have a good night. Bye-bye.